All right, hey guys, it's Mackey and Judd here with our friend Mike Schoonover. And 8 years ago this week, Mike. In fact, Mike, I'm just going to turn it over to you to tell the story. I don't think we can do your story justice and everything that has come of it the last 8 years. But your family suffered an unspeakable tragedy that you are now carrying a torch forward to help potentially other kids and young adults avoid the same tragedy. And so we're happy to have you on the show, and we will have an ask of our audience here shortly. But hello, and please tell your story to our audience, Mike.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. In November 14th, 2014, we went up to Brainerd. My wife Gail and Matthew, our youngest son Matthew and Patrick, went up for a hockey tournament. The Bantam AA ECU team was playing Wyzetta on a Friday afternoon game, and so um, Patrick ended up scoring, or Wyzetta scored a goal, and then Patrick ended up scoring a goal as well. And so we've never seen him so happy. The smile on his face, the picture on the website with him and his buddies after he scored is just it's very precious and very meaningful. But anyway, a few minutes later, he got checked, and it was not a malicious check. It wasn't anything dirty or anything like that. It was just a plain. It was a really good hockey check. And so the problem was is that Patrick had two um, underlying heart conditions that we didn't know about, and the one that caused his death was a aortic aneurysm in his heart. So it just meant that it was like a garden hose being pinched. It's got high pressure on one side and low pressure on the other, and it caused an aneurysm or a ballooning of his aorta. And so when he got impacted, it burst. And so he passed away immediately. He didn't know what hit him. And so he had four doctor visits in the last 2 years of his life, and he did have high blood pressure, and nothing was ever said to us about that. And it was just kind of brushed off as that's normal for kids. They're nervous being in the doctor's office, or maybe they had some energy drinks or whatever. But high blood pressure is high blood pressure. And so that's one of the things that we want to make sure that folks pay attention to with their kids is if they do have high blood pressure, pay attention to it because there's a reason. And so after he passed, we wanted to find out more about underlying heart conditions and how and what we did learn is that it's very frequent for student athletes to pass away from those undetected heart conditions. And so we started the Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation, and our foundation provides free Play for Patrick heart screens to kids 14 to 24 years old. Generally speaking, it's in the metro area, and it's usually at a high school. And we have maybe four or five per year. And we screen kids. We take their height and their weight. We take their blood pressure. We do a 12 lead EKG to check the electrical rhythm of their heart. And then we also do a echocardiogram on their heart, which takes a picture of different pictures of the heart to see what the structure of their heart is like. They get to talk with a cardiologist or a medical doctor with their parents and go over their results and learn more about their heart. And then we also teach them how to do CPR, how to use an AED. And then our foundation donates an AED to the host school. So we've had 26 screenings in the last 7, 8 years, screened over 4,000 kids, and found well over 200 kids that have had high blood pressure, and another 250 kids that have either an electrical or structural heart defect. So
Wow.
Patrick's doing good work, and he's smiling down from where he's at right now.
That's a great story. So how did you then, uh, after such an unspeakable tragedy, how did you regroup as a parent, but also think, okay, this is awful, but then to have the ability to say that you don't want this to certainly occur with people and families. How did the genesis of that start to try and make as big a positive as possible out of something that was so awful?
Well, it was so that it was Patrick passed on a Friday early evening, and they actually shut the tournament down. Nobody, the it was a big tournament. The Blue Ox tournament is a big Bantam tournament, so they shut the tournament down, and the whole hockey world was abuzz with the passing of a hockey player on the ice. So we didn't know that it was a heart condition at the time. We only found that out, a couple days later after the medical examiner's report. But in the meantime, we thought it was a broken neck or a head injury or something along those lines. So
Sure.
so hockey was on the hot seat for a little bit there because it was a hockey injury. But after we kind of gained our senses, we had so much support from the community and in the Minnesota hockey world and actually the national hockey world. It was just amazing how many people reached out and supported us and helped us get through it. So after we learned that it was a heart condition, that just got us on the path of we got to figure out what's going on here and realizing that it is quite common for student athletes to pass away from that. And we did not want parents to feel what we were feeling. So he lives on with with what we're doing, and we're able to talk about him a lot, and he's able to help. Our family is able to help others, and Patrick is able to spread the word of healthy hearts in young athletes. Because a lot of stuff we find out is things that aren't found out until people are older, and then it causes lifestyle changes. People aren't healthy then, and if you don't have a good heart, you're not living a healthy lifestyle, or you're not able to exercise. So it's really important to that we're finding this early, and we'd really like to work ourselves out of a job here and have these screenings be part of a sports physical or a regular physical or some type of new physical for young people to test the heart. So because I think we'd save a lot of folks from some illness and that type of thing if they know that they have a bad heart to begin with. So sometimes it's too late. People are too old to have heart surgery, or they're not able to have a valve replaced or doing something along those lines. So that's really, we hope we can work ourselves out of a job here and let the medical community take over.
And so, we would love this week. So it's Give to the Max Days this week, and we would love to even just raise $1,000 and kind of go from there here on Schoonover. So I guess our ask to you guys, the audience, is if you can even give a few dollars, $20, $50, whatever it is, to givemn.org/score for Patrick. That's SKOR for Patrick. Givemn.org/score for Patrick. And we would just love to see if we can raise some money and move this cause forward and help the Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation. So, Mike, any final words from you here as we say goodbye for now and look to raise some money?
Well, thank you for doing this, and the listeners should know that all of our we're all volunteer based. There's no paid staff. We watch our money, we utilize our money well, and all the money goes towards buying really good equipment so that we can test these kids. And then we also do have to pay some medical professionals to come and help us because they are very short. The supply of medical professionals is short, so we gotta sometimes pay those folks. But yeah, so thanks a lot, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And again, the website is givemn.org/score for Patrick, SKOR for Patrick, Mike Schoonover, and the Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation. Thank you guys, Mackey and Judd.